Hi, my name is Tamara, and you are watching Things Even a Monkey Should Know. Hello, hello, hello! Thank you so much for joining me again today. As you know, if you've watched some of my other videos, I'm not a professional anything except artist, but I have learned there are a number of things around the house and out in the yard and on my cars that I can do myself and save myself usually time, money, and aggravation. So I hope you have saved those things now too. Today, we are going to be changing out the bottom section of a double hung window. It's actually not difficult to do at all. If you have double paned windows and you happen to get a hole in one, you are very familiar with the fact that the window will fog and you will no longer be able to see out of it. Now, while we cannot manufacture the double pane windows ourselves because, hey, I don't have all of the vacuuming material and gases and things that go in between those panes to give them that double insulation, a lot of window manufacturers now are making things in a little more sectional so that if you have something that breaks, then you don't have to replace the entire window, which is pretty awesome. So that is what we're doing today. I want you to see the kind of window that we're looking at. Whenever I say double hung, it means that both the top and the bottom portions open. In this case, again, we're just replacing that bottom piece. We don't have to replace the whole window at all. Let's go over things you're going to need today. Of course, you're going to need your window part that needs replacing. You are going to need your replacement window. Now, how do you know what to get? Because obviously you can't just go to the store and buy this. And yes, by the way, I am aware that there is paint and stuff on this window. It's actually on the plastic. Not removing the plastic till the window is safely installed. Anyway, that was a sidetrack. How do you know which window? You can't go and just buy a window off the shelf. Typically, you have to have them specially made. How do we know who makes them? Because there's so many different manufacturers. There's Anderson, there's Jeld-Wen, there's Velux, there's Masonite, there's, I don't know, Marvin, there's, hundreds, okay? Well, the good news is that because these manufacturers not only want you to buy more windows from them if you like what you have, they want you to be able to replace parts if things break because they understand it's glass and glass breaks. Yeah, that just happens. So a lot of times they are going to leave you a clue or at least one clue, hopefully more. In my case, I have Jeld-Wen windows and they have etched their company name and the serial number of the window in the bottom corner of each window, which is super helpful because whenever I need to replace something, they have all the information about that window from that serial number. It's awesome. If your manufacturer did not put an etching in the bottom corner of the pane, there should be something somewhere on the window, whether it is like inside the area here. Usually it's going to be somewhere that's not too difficult to find because they don't want you to have to go on a huge treasure hunt for this. So it could also be around the edge here. Hopefully they just etched it because that's the easiest, right? Okay, how do you figure it out once you have, say, the serial number and the manufacturer? How do you know where to go? Well, you can either Google it, but sometimes, that can be a little mystifying, trying to figure out the information from Google because, well, Google goes crazy whenever you put in a bunch of numbers. You can go to like a local custom cabinet shop or custom wood shop of some sort, and very likely the people there will be able to help you. And whenever I say a local custom wood shop, I don't mean a big box store. Big box stores usually only work with like 2 or 3 brands of windows. So if it is not a window that they work with or a company they work with, it is very unlikely they will be able to help you. Now, if it is, then great, go there. The smaller stores are probably going to be your best bet because they will have a pretty good range of knowledge. Okay, so now we know some about how to find our windows. Other than that, you're going to need both kinds of screwdrivers. You're going to need a drill with a small drill bit. My favorite size is 7/64. It seems to work for a lot of things. And you're going to need a driver. If you don't have a separate driver from your drill, you can obviously just get a little driver bit and use it with your drill too. You're also going to need some towels or cardboard or something to put around on your floor so that you don't damage your windows or your floor or yourself or whatever as you're swapping them out and swapping out the hardware. I think that should be it. So living in this house is my first experience with double hung windows, and double hung means that whenever you unlock your window, not only can the bottom part come up, but the top part can also come down, which is actually pretty awesome when the weather is nice. It is only slightly nice today. The next question is, how do you get this window out of here? Well, it's gonna have little locks. In my case, it has these little tabs on the top that you pull back. The window folds out toward you. And you can bring the window up. It has little tabs inside, which it should just pop out of, but they are a little bit difficult. There we go. You get one side, you have both sides. And it's as easy as that. So that you can be clear about exactly what we're doing, this is what we were pulling our little window feet out of. This is the piece on the window that was fitting into that part inside. All right, so we need to take off our hardware and transfer it to our new window. Now, these little locks right here, all that they have is a little decorative piece that sits up on top. See this right here? So we are just simply going to carefully pry it off. And I'll show you just on this other side. Again, it just pries off. It almost fell off. Now this is pretty relevant because if you did not put these window alarms on yourself, you may be wondering how to get them off. Very easy to do. They should have a little button somewhere. Some of them are on the bottom. This one is on the top. We're just going to depress this button. We're going to get that off. See that screw right there? So that we can install this on our other window. Now this piece we will have to wait and install once the window is actually in. This also has an additional screw. It has a little clip right here. We're gonna pull that back, pull out the circuit board. Well, I just broke the clip, good job. And then we're going to go ahead and pull out the other screw. Now we have to flip over our window to get to the last of our hardware, which is going to be our window locks. And they simply have two little screws holding them in. We will simply remove these screws. And then the whole piece slides out really easily. Want to see that again? Well, we have doubles. How fun is this? We're just going to go exactly backwards from what we just did. We're going to go ahead and put this little lock in here. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a start with the drill because these screws did not puncture very deeply, so I don't want to strip them. Then we're gonna screw them in. Want to see it again? I know you do. To be honest, I really don't even think that I need to pre-drill anything because these screws are so sharp, they feel like they're probably self-drilling. So we are going to just go ahead, I was correct, and we're going to screw them in as is. So remember for these little pieces, how we just slid this decorative piece off. It has a little tab that fits right in here. So that's all we have to do is just pop it right into that right there. We're going to go ahead and pop the other tab in over here. Now look here, you smarty pants. you make sure that your window is unlocked when you install it, because otherwise whenever you go to put it up next to your other window, you're going to have your lock bang into the edge of your other window, which is not cool at all. Now I have you at this angle because I want you to see as best as possible how I am getting these little pieces, these little feet back into the edges. We're doing it at an angle, and I found on the right hand side where that piece fits, and I snapped it in there. And the left hand side, I think I've got that one in. Yep, looks like it because it's actually moving. It is now. Then I'm going to just basically fold my window back into place. Going to pull my little tabs in up at the top. Line everything up with that window. And voila! Our window is reinstalled. Since we are going all the way through this, let's go ahead and finish off by installing our little alarm piece. And you want to make sure that you get it properly aligned. So just for fun, let's just go ahead and put our little motherboard, or whatever you want to call this, circuit board, back in here. And let's let it pretend like it's sliding down. And then I hear it go into place. So let's go ahead and mark where the top screw should be. So I guess that you actually needed a pen or a pencil also. And so now that I know for sure that that's the right place, I'm gonna pop that circuit board back out. Going to line up. I'm gonna be in y'all's way for about 2 seconds as I straighten up this little box, and then I'm going to mark my other screw hole down here, and then I'm going to drill a little starter hole for both of them. I know we're drilling into our brand new window. Isn't that scary? It's really not scary. It's really quite all right. So we'll go ahead now and get our screws started. We have that firmly in. Going to put our circuit board piece back in, and I did break that clip on the inside, so I needed to hold it until get the outside on. And we should be good to go. Let's give our window a quick test. Make sure it raises, stays in place, everything is functioning. Does it lock? Oh, it absolutely locks. That is just beautiful. We have no more breaks or cracks, so we are ready for whatever the seasons throw at us. Well, that was really easy, right? The hardest part of that was nothing. I think it is so incredibly encouraging to know that you can change out parts on windows and not have to change out the whole window, because let me tell you, whenever I saw that window had the crack in it, I was very upset, because I thought that I was going to have to change out the whole thing, which means pulling out trim and having to do all of the shimming and everything all over again. So I think it's pretty awesome that windows actually have replaceable parts now. And maybe they always did, but I know the ones that I grew up with did not. So I hope that you saw that that was easy. Would I have normally changed out that pane before it clouded up? Probably not. But I really wanted y'all to see that you can change out parts, and so I decided to go ahead and do it anyways. So now it's done, so I don't have to think about it anymore. Yay! Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please go ahead and do that right now. And thank you so much to everyone who already has. I look forward to seeing you again soon.